how to enjoy boring beach volleyball practice. What's up, I'm Alex from learnbeachvolleyballfast.com. This video could very well become a turning point in your career and how you view beach volleyball practice for the rest of your life to the better. What I'm going to teach you in this video is truly one of those concepts that you don't know that you need before you have it, but once you have it and once you understand it, you will barely be able to understand how you survived earlier in your life before you had it. Okay, so we're human beings and human beings enjoy adventure. If we go traveling, for example, which is one type of adventure, maybe it would be interesting to walk down weird streets with small, old, funky houses. Maybe explore some graffiti, or have your daily workout in a new playground. Maybe consider stealing the biggest crystal crown you've seen in your life. Do some hand-setting practice into a chair-reinforced basketball hoop. Or why not just take a cruise down an empty street? Anyway, the whole point with this was that for whatever reason, the human brain likes novelty, adventure, when new things happen all the time. But sometimes beach volleyball practice is quite boring, it's quite repetitive. You just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And quite frankly, for you to example learn how to serve receive perfectly, you're going to have to do quite a few of serve receives. So if you practice like that repetitively, if we compare that to traveling, it's kind of like going traveling and watching the same wall over and over and over and over and over again. After a while, it's just not so interesting anymore. And of course, this can be to some degree solved by the coach, by practice design, setting up the practice so that there is different things happening and whatnot. But that's not what I'm going to teach you in this video. I'm going to teach you a mental trick that is going to change how you view all of this. So basically, follow me here. Before, when we were so-called traveling and watching a lot of new places and whatnot, we basically get new experiences all the time, which is interesting for us. But when we watch the same wall all the time, we maybe don't get new experiences all the time. Or do we? It really depends on how we look at it. Because we could argue that we could look at this wall and go and study it closer. We could, we could become rock nerds. We could figure out what this is, what this color of paint is. Where does this stone come from? How does that window work? Is this a water hose or is there something else coming out of it? Is it rusty? Why not? Is that rusty? Why is that rusty but not that? What is this? Who knows? I don't even know what this is. There's grass. We could start clipping the grass. We could become masters of grass clipping and master the art of that. And I know this is a silly example, but literally what I'm saying here is that I'm trying to explain what it's like to go on an adventure inwards rather than outwards. So you can search new experiences from an outward source, but you can also do the same thing over and over and over again and search new experiences within the same activity. So, how does this work in beach volleyball? I'll just tell you a story. In the beginning, when I was practicing serve receive, that was one of my biggest problems. I literally just went and did serve receives and I just saw that it didn't work. I was shanking and I had no idea why. So practicing serve receive was very frustrating. It was very boring and I didn't understand anything. I had no idea what to work on. I had no idea how to make anything better. I just confirmed for myself that I didn't know really how to serve receive. Anyway, the more I learned about serve receive, what to do, footwork, what to do with my arms, how to think in certain serve receives, strategy, what to watch the other players do, whatnot. All of a sudden, serve receive became sort of a universe in my head where I know a lot of details. I know a lot of things I could work on. I know I can basically send my mental focus into different parts of the serve receive as I'm serve receiving. So basically it becomes It's this 1 second happening, ball gets served, it flies towards me, and I touch it. But all of a sudden I'm starting to zoom in into different parts of that whole sequence and learning and observing and finding new things and new discoveries within these milliseconds. And the beauty with this is that it's always accessible for us. No matter how repetitive, boring practice we have, task we're doing, we can always zoom inwards. We can always observe more. We can always find more details about how things work. And this can be a fascinating journey. And in the long run, this is what's gonna allow you to do serve receive for 1 hour, to do a lone practice, hand setting into a basketball hoop or whatever for a long time, and find it really interesting and fun. And because we do need those hours of repetition for us to become good at this sport. But the thing is that if we hate that sort of practice, we're not gonna do those hours, and then we're gonna be stuck. So it's just this little mind switch that basically changes everything. All of a sudden you're gonna be like, no, I don't want to play with you guys, I'm gonna go practice alone, because that's actually more enjoyable for me and makes more sense for me right now in my development as a player. Hope that helps. Go out and try it. Try to figure out what I mean. If you can experience this mental experience that I'm talking about, ask questions in the comments below if you need to, if there's anything unclear. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this that's gonna accelerate your beach volleyball career. And of course, tell your friends. See ya, says the cat.